Hello, we are ready for science and we're going to take a little trip outside and see what the weather is like. So let me open my back door and pick up my computer. Let's see if we can go outside. Alright, it is a sunshiny day. It feels pretty good, but it is a little cool. I think I would need a jacket if I were going to come outside right now. So, I'm either going to choose cool or cold on my strip. So you choose what you think it is, but I am going to choose cool. It's not freezing outside. It's not as cold as winter. That's why I'm choosing cool. But it is a little chilly. Alright, so today we are going to do our weather graph. Now you should have a page that has two of them on here. And lo and behold, I have my scissors. Now our booklet that I made for us is not as big as the folder that we were supposed to use. So we're going to have to make some adjustments. So I'm going to cut out, and you cut out your two weather graphs. Cut on the outside of the black lines so that you leave the black lines showing. Go around those little round edges. Okay. Okay. Now, I have one of them cut out. So you be cutting yours out. Whoa. Ah! My scissors got stuck. Okay. Cut around my curved lines. Alrighty. I think we might be doing this weather book maybe one more week. And then I've already got another idea for us lined out. Alright, so that's that. So I have two of these. Okay. Now I'm going to see. We have a weather toolkit we've still got to do. And we have a rain cycle. So I'm thinking we're going to do the rain cycle maybe on the back. And I think what we're going to do is our weather graphs are going to be up here. Okay, let me show you. Let's see. So the book is closed. Open it up. It's got that. Open it up. Whoops. And it's going to have these up here. But if you'll notice, it gets into our vocabulary book just a little bit. So I want you to trim it off where it doesn't bump the vocabulary book. And I don't think I have to trim the pictures. I think I just have to go right below the pictures. So I'm just going to go right below the pictures. Okay, so it looks like this now. It used to look like this. So it's just a little different. Let me see if that's going to fit. And if that won't fit, then I'll cut a little bit off the top. Alright, I might cut just a little bit off the top. It fits, but I don't want to bother it while I'm getting my vocabulary words off. So I'm going to cut a little bit off the top. So we're using our creativity and our problem solving to make this work for us. And so we didn't have to buy folders. Alright. So I got a little uneven right there, but let's see. It fits. Looky here. Whoopsie. So it fits. See? And there's space in between there, so it's not going to bother. Alright, so I'm going to put glue all on the back of this one. All on the back. And I actually did get my glue. I'm so proud of myself. I don't know what else I forgot, but at least I got the glue. So you can use stick glue for this. I think stick glue will work better. I don't have any stick glue for me, so I'm just going to use this. Ooh, yes, it's working. All right, so I'm going to glue it. And I'm going to put it right above my weather vocabulary pocket. Try to get it centered where it looks neat. And you're going to rub it. You're going to rub it down because you want it flat. You don't want any air bubbles in it, so rub it with your hand. Okay. Now I'm going to take my second one and I'm going to customize it. So I'm going to cut a little off of it. Just like I did my first one. Okay, so I cut my bottom off. That's the little strip I cut off the bottom. I'm going to cut a little bit off the top. Don't cut your words off. You need the words. So now I have this one customized. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to fold it on this line right here. That's going to be my fold line. Just going to fold it. So now it looks like this and like this. I'm just going to open that up. You see I've got a little line there. Well, I'm going to put glue on this part of it, only on that part. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to lay it right on top of this one, evened up. Evened up. All lined up, so you can't see that there's two here, but there's only glue on the top. Only glue on the top. Now I can, ooh, I've got papers falling. Now I can lift it, and I have two charts, but it needs to dry before I start to use it. Whoop, let me pick up my paper that's falling. Ah! Alright, so this is what theirs looks like. It's a little different from ours because they're using a little bit different background. And it says weather graph. Now on this sheet, it tells you what to do with your weather graph. It says use the weather graph for tracking daily weather for a week. You can also add more graphs by gluing more templates on top of this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to track what the sky looks like. So every day you go out, so this would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because most kids go to school on Fridays, but we can still track the weather. So if it's sunny, I want you to color this in. On Tuesday, if it's sunny, you can color that in, but if it's just stratus clouds, you can color that in. If it's raining, that. If it's thunderstorm, that. Or if it's just a windy day, you can color that one in. So some days are sunny and windy, so I guess you could color both of them in. But that's my understanding of it. A sunny day colors right here. Just use these as days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay? So today, I think I'm going to start coloring this in on Monday because I want it to start on day 1. So I'm not going to actually color anything in. I'm just going to let it dry, and I'm going to keep my book open. All right. Now, what we have left to do is we have the thing, and I'm going to send a brad home for you because it needs a little brad. That's a little circle, and it has 2 prongs, and you open them up. All right, so I'll send a brad home, so we'll do that one Monday, and we'll start our weather tools. Okay, but today I want us to look at some of our vocabulary words that we have are rain, hail, snow, and monsoon. So I do have a book on snow, which I forgot to bring it over here. I knew I'd forget something, but I really hadn't decided what else we were going to do today. But I'm going to go get the book on snow, and we're going to read about snow, and we'll see if we can fill out the vocabulary card snow. So I'll be right back. Alright, so this is a big book on snow. And it is written by, it says Honorhead. I don't know what that means, Honorhead. I don't know if that's a person's name or if it's a group. Alright, so in the beginning of a book, you see the table of contents. So if we just wanted to read what is snow, what page would we go to? Page 4. When does it snow? We would go to page 6. Have a snow party. We would go to page 20. Let's go to page 20 and see if it's got snow party on there. So the page numbers are down at the corner of the book. So I'm going to go to page 20. Have a snow party. It tells me how to have a snow party. All right, well, we'll read that later. All right, let's start at the beginning. What is snow? You see the pictures? It says snow falls from the clouds. Well, that's what rain does. It snows when weather is cold. Okay, I knew that. Snow is white and wet and cold. So it is wet. And if you try to pick it up, your hands will get wet or your gloves will get wet if you don't have waterproof. If you go outside when it snows, you will need to wear warm winter clothes. Making snowballs is fun, but you need to wear gloves or mittens to keep your hands from getting too cold. And you need waterproof ones. If the snow is light, the snow melts when it lands on the ground or the sun shines. If a lot of snow falls, it settles and makes everything look white. When it is cold and snowy, you can see your breath in the air. It doesn't have to be snowy to see your breath in the air. It just has to be cold outside. So far, we have learned that snow falls from the clouds. It is white and wet and cold. Okay, so we've learned that much. When does it snow? It usually snows during the winter. What is that animal? I think that's a little squirrel curled up in his nest. This is the time of year when the weather gets cold. It gets darker earlier in the day, and the days are shorter than in summer. In the winter, most of the trees have lost their leaves, and plants stop flowering. They are resting. They're in their resting phase. Many birds migrate or fly away to warmer countries. On some winter days, it might still be dark when you wake up in the morning. Some animals, such as it says it's a dormouse, hibernate. We learned hibernating last year. That's sleeping during the winter when there is not much food. It is difficult for birds and other animals to find food when it is cold and the ground is frozen. Where does snow come from? When it is freezing cold high in the sky. Okay, so you have to understand that the earth is warmed by the sun. Okay, and then the cold air comes in and it pushes that warm air up. But as it goes up into the upper atmosphere, it is cold there. Even though there's a sun, the upper atmosphere doesn't have anything to hold the heat. So it gets cold up there. When it is freezing cold high in the sky, water droplets turn into tiny ice crystals. These fall to earth as snowflakes. So number 1, water vapor rises from lakes, ponds, seas, and puddles, and it goes up into the sky as a cloud. But when the temperatures are freezing up there, those water droplets freeze and turn into ice crystals. Ice crystals will then fall from the clouds. There is an ice crystal. If you can look at them under a microscope, they say no two snowflakes are alike. Ice crystals fall back to the earth as snowflakes. Okay. Sometimes when it is very windy and freezing, we get a blizzard. And we learned about blizzards. That's very fast falling snow. When it is very cold, a lot of snow will fall and cover everything with a white blanket. Snow is made up of snowflakes. All snowflakes have 6 sides. That is so neat to me. Every snowflake, if you look at it under a microscope, they all have 6 sides. They all have 6 points. but each snowflake has a different pattern from the others. Sometimes in cold weather we get sleet. Sleet is a mixture of snow and rain. It can also be made of snow which has started to melt as it falls from the clouds. So sleet is like tiny ice. During a cold night, everything gets covered with a thin white layer that looks like snow. This is frost. It sparkles in the morning sunlight. So what happens is if it dews in the wintertime and it's freezing temperatures, the dew will freeze. And it is not snow, it's just ice crystals. And it doesn't pile up like snow does. It's just on each leaf, they're just tiny little ice crystals. And I know that sometimes when we go outside for recess, those little cars will have like a little icy covering. That's frost. Now, if you leave water to sit there, it will harden into a block of ice. But this is just tiny little ice crystals that you can rub off with your hands. Every single snowflake looks different. Every single one of them, just like people. Cold as ice. When the temperature drops and it is very cold, water can freeze and turn into ice. During the winter, the surface of lakes, ponds, and puddles is often covered with a layer of ice. When snow settles, it can turn into ice. This makes it very slippery and you have to be careful when you walk on it. When lakes and ponds freeze over, water birds cannot get food from the ice until it melts. During cold weather, dripping water freezes before it falls to the ground. This forms icicles, which can be very beautiful. So the rain on the tree froze, and then it began to melt, but then it froze again and made an icicle. So like on cold days, it'll sometimes warm up mid-morning or mid-afternoon, and things will start to thaw, but the sun will start going down before it's thawed completely. And it starts to freeze again, and that's how you can get icicles. All right. Mountain snow. Ooh, that looks like fun. Some places have mountains so high that they are covered with snow all the time, even in the summer, because they are very, very high. During the winter, many people visit these mountains for ski trips. People also enjoy mountain climbing. The mountains that we went to when I told you about my personal narrative, when we did a hike, there was some snow up on some of those mountains, but those mountains were really high and I don't think I could climb them. But there were snow caps on some of those mountains. It was really beautiful. During the winter, we already said that. People like to go snowboarding where there is deep snow. This is like snow surfing. Kind of like water surfing, but in the snow. Skiing in the mountains is lots of fun. Children start on an easy ski slope called a bunny slope, because a bunny is a baby. High up in the mountains where the snow is very deep, avalanches can happen. Have you heard of an avalanche? This is when snow starts sliding down the mountain in huge lumps. It gets faster and faster. This can be very dangerous if you are caught in its path. Okay, so what happens is the mountains are very high and snow piles up on them. Okay, and if it never melts, then more snow falls, and more snow falls, and more snow falls. Well, before long, that snow gets really heavy. And so if it melts any at all, or if there's a rumble in the earth, or something else makes a rumble, it can start shifting. And if it starts breaking loose, then a huge chunk of it will fall down. It's just like a huge cloud of snow, like really big, coming down the side of the mountain, and it will bury you. And some people survive it and some people don't. So you just have to, if you end up like where you can climb your way out, and you'll be safe. But if you see one, you need to not run away from it. You need to run to the side. So, because it goes down a path. Fun in the snow. You can have lots of fun in the snow. If you live near a hill, you can go sledding. It's fun to build a snowman too. These are all activities we do not get to do in Texas. Always keep warm when you're playing outside in the snow. If you get hypothermia, that's a condition where your body begins to chill too much. You will get slow and sleepy and you just want to sit down in the snow. You just want to go to sleep. That's very dangerous, so you need to be sure you're dressed with snow clothes. Snow clothes don't get wet because they're water repellent. They repel water. Try making a snow angel next time it snows. I know Gage knows how to make those because he's laid down in the grass. I'm making a grass angel. If the snow is deep, lie down. Move your arms and legs up and down by your sides and your legs in and out. This is called making a snow angel. So when you stand up, there's a little round bottom, and it looks like there's wings up here. It's kind of pretty. All right, a snow party. Use the snowflake template to make invitations for your snow party. Draw the snowflake onto a thin piece of cardboard or a small paper plate. Write the address and time of the party on the other side. All right, so they're saying you could get a paper plate and you could draw a snowflake on it. And on the back, you invite people. You write your little letter. It says, to Hannah, come to my snow party, 17 Walnut Street, Saturday, January 20th at 3 o'clock. Wear something white. And they said you could do a snowball grab bag. Cover a big box in white paper. Buy small presents and wrap them in shiny paper. Put them in the box and ask your friends to pick out something without looking. These are not really snowflakes, but white mini marshmallows. So you stick them all in a jar. Put as many as you can in there. Your friends have to guess how many there are. The winner gets a small prize. When you have played the game, ask an adult to make hot chocolate and sprinkle the white marshmallows on top. All right, and then there you have the glossary, which is all of the words we read. So what is snow? We know it's wet, it's white, it's cold, it's ice crystals made high in the sky in a cloud when it's freezing. So let's find our little vocabulary cards, which this one says snow. So I'm going to cut it out. You cut yours out. I might have to cut off monsoon. I'll just put that in the vocabulary pocket so it won't get lost. I'm cutting out snow. Snow. All right, so if you have your snow cut out, we will write a definition on snow. This one says precipitation that falls in the form of white ice crystals during cold weather. We haven't really studied what precipitation means. What does precipitation mean? Do you know what precipitation means? Precipitation is any kind of water that falls from the sky. It could be rain, sleet, hail, or snow. Precipitation is any water that falls from the sky. So we are just going to say, I guess y'all are big enough to start. Are y'all big enough to start using precipitation? Oh, excuse me. All right, let's see. Let me write it down. Precipitation. All right, I'm going to hold that up for you. It is a huge word. Precipitation. See if you can write that down. Write it on the back of your snow card. Precipitation. Okay. Now under that, we're not going to write all of the words of this. We know it's precipitation. It is white ice crystals. All right, and why it's making a sound y'all haven't studied yet. It's making an I sound. So say white ice crystals. White ice crystals. You can pause the video if you need to. All right. And we're going to say cold weather because that's when it falls. We're going to say cold weather. Because we don't have room to write everything. But that's when they fall. Cold weather. Okay. So we were going to put that in our little vocabulary pouch. We got a lot of little vocabulary words in there. There we go. All right, our weather book is coming together. I think probably next week we will have it finished. I'm going to trim up monsoon, and I'm just going to stick monsoon in my vocabulary pocket. because I don't want it to get lost because I'm not ready for it yet. You can put yours back in your bag or you can put it in your vocabulary pocket. All right, it's been a fun day at science. We will start making our weather graph Monday, and we will do our meteorologist tools, and we will do our water cycle. The water cycle, I have a little book that I used to read to children, and it was really cute, and I'm going to see if I can find it. I already looked at the library at school and I couldn't find it. I'm going to look in my file cabinet and see if I have it. If not, I'm going to try to find it back online and print it again because it's a really cute little book. All right, that's all we have for today, and you are done for the week. You are done for the week. And I hope you have a nice weekend. I should see you sometime on Friday to deliver your learning packets. And so I'll just see you then. Bye-bye.